Let's dive right in. Today, we're going to talk about what it looks like to support a child with Prader-Willi syndrome and how to do it as a whole family, as a team. We'll get into some really practical changes everyone can be a part of to create a home that just feels more supportive and works for everybody.
And it's so important we start right here, because having a child with PWS isn't just one person's journey. It really is a family-wide experience. The reality is, stress and anxiety levels can be incredibly high, not just for parents, but for siblings too. So tackling this as a unified team, that's absolutely fundamental.
So, if we're going to face this challenge together, we first have to really understand what's at the heart of it. Let's take a look at the one symptom that really shapes so much of the day-to-day experience with PWS.
This right here, this is the whole game. It's called hyperphagia. I want you to just imagine for a second, never, ever feeling full, no matter what you eat. That's the constant reality for a child with PWS. It creates this relentless focus on food, this compulsion to overeat, and can even lead to them aggressively trying to find food. And it's so crucial to get this. It's not a matter of willpower. It's a biological signal that's just not working right.
And that is why making these family-wide changes is so vital. Because of that constant driving hunger, around 40% of children with PWS also have obesity. This means managing their health isn't just a nice idea, it's an absolute necessity for their well-being.
Okay, so let's shift gears and talk about solutions. We're going to start with building a foundation of safety and predictability around food. This is actually where a family can make the biggest and most immediate impact.
We really have to reframe how we think about this. This isn't about restriction or being mean. Creating a food-safe home is really an act of love. Because your child can't control this urge, you're literally lifting an impossible burden off their shoulders. And when you do that, you're not just controlling calories, you're reducing their anxiety and helping them feel safe.
So how do you actually do it? Well, the steps are pretty straightforward. First, get all the food in the house into one spot. No more stashes of snacks in different rooms. Second, and this is key, lock it up. That means fridges, pantries, the whole deal. And third, get rid of those easy access things like candy dishes on the counter. It just removes that constant temptation and creates clear, safe boundaries.
And this builds on that idea of safety, right? Think about it. Without a routine, a child with PWS is living in a constant state of anxiety. When do I eat next? Will there be enough? But with a solid routine, I'm talking set meal times, planned menus, everyone eating together. All that anxiety gets replaced with predictability and security. They know what to expect, and that is incredibly calming for them.
Okay, now that the environment is safe, let's talk about what's actually on the table and how we're moving our bodies. And the magic word here is unified. This has to be a collective family thing, not just a set of rules for one person.
So, here's the wild paradox of PWS. You've got this insatiable, never-ending appetite, but it's paired with a body that actually needs fewer calories than the average person's. That's because of lower muscle mass. So the food they eat has to be incredibly nutrient-dense. Every bite counts. And the best part is that the recommended diet isn't some weird, restrictive plan nobody else wants to eat. It's basically just a super healthy diet that's good for literally everyone in the family. We're talking lean proteins, tons of veggies, healthy carbs, and fruits that are lower in sugar. When the whole family eats this way, no one feels singled out. It just becomes the way you eat. And that exact same idea applies to physical activity. The goal is about 30 minutes of movement 5 days a week. But when you frame it as a shared family goal, it completely changes the dynamic. It stops being a chore for one person and starts being something you do together. And remember, activity doesn't just mean going to the gym. It's about finding ways to move that are actually fun. It could be nightly walks after dinner, signing up for a class together, or even just turning on some music and tackling yard work as a team. Every little bit adds up, and doing it together just reinforces that supportive, we're in this together culture. So we've handled the food, environment, and lifestyle. But a truly supportive home is about so much more than that. Now let's talk about building a life that's full of structure and, maybe most importantly, joy. Now, children with PWS can often struggle with anxiety, big mood swings, and some rigidity. And a consistent daily schedule, well, it's like a superpower against all of that. Knowing what's coming next, for meals, for bedtime, for chores, for everything, creates this incredible sense of security that can help smooth out so many of those behavioral challenges.
This is such an important question for a family to sit with. It can be so easy for life to revolve around managing food, so it's absolutely crucial to intentionally build family bonds and make memories that have nothing to do with what's on a plate.
And here are some fantastic ideas to get you started. The key is to pick activities where food isn't the star of the show. When you go to a museum or a park or a hiking trail, the focus is on the experience itself. This allows a child with PWS to just relax, participate, and have fun with her family.
All right, let's get into our final section, which is all about the deep stuff, the emotional work of fostering a family culture that's resilient, open, and truly connected.
This is huge. Don't hide from the diagnosis or treat it like a secret. Talking about PWS openly and honestly, in a way that everyone, at every age, can understand, is how you build empathy. It gets everyone on the same team, working from a place of understanding instead of frustration.
And this one is so critical. The needs of a child with PWS can be pretty all-consuming, and it's easy for siblings to feel a bit overlooked. Making a real, conscious effort to carve out dedicated one-on-one time with them and supporting their own unique passions is absolutely essential for a healthy family dynamic.
Shared responsibility builds the sense of teamwork like nothing else. Giving every single family member, including the child with PWS, age-appropriate chores helps build their sense of competence and shows them they're a valued contributor. It just reinforces that powerful message that we all pitch in here. And please, hear this. You do not have to do this alone. Reaching out for help, whether it's from extended family, friends, or support groups, isn't a sign of weakness. It is a sign of incredible strength. Preventing caregiver burnout is non-negotiable for the long-term health of your entire family.
And you know, sometimes the best help comes from people who just get it. Family therapy can provide amazing strategies, and connecting with a PWS support group can give you that invaluable feeling that comes from knowing you're not the only one navigating this journey.
So, as we wrap this up, let's just end with this simple question. This isn't about overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about taking one small, unified step forward. Maybe it's planning one meal to cook together this week. Maybe it's deciding to take a walk after dinner tonight. Whatever it is, what is the one change your family can start together today?